This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
And we're back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650. And joining us in the studio today from the BC Seniors Living Association is board member Alison Howard, along with nutrition and active lifestyle expert Rob Huppee. So let's address the topic of us as boomers helping our parents get the best quality out of their last years of life. It's not like they're passing tomorrow. They could have 20, 30 years left. So what are some of the challenges that families face getting their parents to make that choice to move out of the long-term family home, and how we can assist them? So I know we're going to start with a conversation.
Yes.
But then how do we find the right place and the right fit for them?
Well, really good question. So I think the first thing to do is, this is daunting for a lot of people. You're going to meet a group of people who are like, oh my gosh, this is a fantastic idea. And off they go and they move in, and they are early adopters of the concept, and they're in, and there's no issue, and they're leading the charge for their children, and their kids are trying to catch up with them, emotionally about this whole change. That is wonderful when that happens. And if that happens in your family, run with it. It's not the norm, though. Quite often there's resistance and there's some concern, and it's a very daunting prospect. So what we want to do as family members creating support is do a little pre-research on behalf of the family member. So maybe go out and go and look at communities and kick a few tires and see where you know your parents best. Where do you see them thriving? That's the key. Where do you see mom or dad, or mom and dad, really, really getting the benefits of the community that you're choosing? Narrow it down. Narrow it down to 2 or 3 communities. Do not traipse your parents through 10 communities. It's too much information for them. It's overwhelming. Do the work, narrow it down, 2 or 3, maybe 4 at the most, and take them through. You may find that they'll start off by saying, there's no way I'm moving in. That's okay. Mom, can we just look? Just, with my mom, I always play, just to make me be quiet. Just do this for me.
Sure.
This is just for my peace of mind.
Plant the seed.
And you find that you plant the seed, and by the end of the tour through the 3rd community, they're starting to do the benefits and features list themselves.
Oh, well, I like this place better.
Exactly.
Or this was brighter.
Yeah, or the food was nice here, or I like the suite there. And they're already starting to compile that list, because somewhere in their heart of hearts, they know that what you're doing for them is out of love, and they know that they're going to benefit from that change once we present it well and reduce some of those road barriers for them.
Rob, anything else to add on that? Have you ever had to have that conversation?
I've had to. I have talked to some people about it, where they're coming through the building and they say, "I'm not sure I'm ready for this." I'm on my own. I have this house. I've been in it forever. I am comfortable there. I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Maybe in 5 years from now. And what I've said in the past is, I've told them, I said, you have to really give this a chance, but it won't let you down, because what would happen is, you'll see that the earlier you can come into an environment like this, the better it will be in improving this longevity of quality of life. This whole idea of compression and morbidity, we've heard about this, just to keep as active as possible as long as possible. So if you put things off longer, it makes it more difficult to get to that point. So I said, you have to. And I asked them, I said, are you exercising? And they say, well, no. How do you eat every day? Do you eat 7 fruits and vegetables a day? Kind of like very basic questions. They say, well, no. And I said, well, this is important, and this is some of the things you can expect in this kind of environment. So by talking openly about issues like that, it opens their minds. It makes them realize that they get past the idea of well, I'm too young to be here. They think you have to be very old and frail.
Yes.
So well, no, that's not the point, right? So I think it's getting past that, breaking that mental barrier. So discussing it is important.
Absolutely. I think the other factor is that there's a group of experts out there who are here to help you, and our industry, we don't have salespeople. We have people who are resources, and they're not out to put people into a community that's not going to be a fit for them. So you'll find with our people who are our lifestyle experts in the communities, they'll refer other places. They'll actively say, go look at this one and this one and this one, and they will work as a resource for the family members. And they're the least pushy people you will ever find, because seniors do not have a sense of urgency, and they do not like to be sold, and they can see through a sales line in 5 minutes flat.
Don't like to be pushed.
They
either.
don't like to be pushed. But from family members' perspective, these people are resources, so they can help guide you through how to have this conversation. If you found those 2 or 3 communities that you like, have a conversation with them. I have to share a story with you too. Being on the board of BCSLA, I have a girlfriend who knew that I am familiar with the communities on the Lower Mainland. She's just moved here, and she's at that point where she's having that conversation with her mom. And she said, we found this one in Richmond. And she said, do you know it? I said, oh yes, I know that one. It's a great community. She said, well, that's one Mom really liked. And she said, but she's not listening to me. She said, would you talk to her? She said, because you're like a neutral third party who has some experience. And I said, absolutely, it would be my pleasure to have a conversation with her and talk to her about the benefits.
Oh my gosh, Alison, your phone is going to ring off the hook now. Because it's true. It's that mother-daughter relationship.
Exactly. And I said to her, my mother I could tell my mom something for 5 years, and some stranger will walk in and tell her the same thing. She's like, I never knew that. Right? But I'm the same way with my kids too, true. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So if I'm a member of the community and I'm thinking I might want to reach out and check some of the resources of what's available for me to move to. Can I get that information from BC Seniors Living Association? Can I just give them a phone call first if I don't, maybe I'm not computer savvy? And is that a good place to start?
You know what? BCSLA is a phenomenal resource. And if you're not comfortable on the computer and you're looking in a particular region, absolutely, we know every member community throughout British Columbia. And if you are computer savvy, all of our members are listed. There's a member directory on the website, and so that's also a great place to see what's available in your region or in your parents' region. Because you might be here on the Lower Mainland and your mom might be up in Campbell River or might be in Kamloops, so it's a great place to start. And of course, we're very good at getting our names out there. Our members are, and all of us who work in the industry. So all you have to do is, if you're online, type in retirement communities and you'll get 10,000 choices.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how freeing it could actually be for a parent to make this change, to make this move. We mentioned in an earlier segment that change can be difficult, but change is really good. It could make them more independent.
It can, and it certainly does. It does make them more independent and on many levels, I think. And the testament to that is the real life examples we see of people who are all of a sudden they're taking exercise, they're eating better, and they are becoming more independent. They're traveling out of the community more, doing things they wouldn't normally have done,
When they were by themselves in their own home.
And that's the other thing we should emphasize again, and we've mentioned it a little earlier, is that it's not you're moving in and you're trapped in the community. There's lots of stuff going on if you choose to spend the day. But if you want to go on the bus and go off on the many trips they have, or if you want to just go and do your own thing, we have some gentlemen at one place, they were part of this men's exercise group at the local community center. And it's something they had been doing for years. So they weren't going to give that up, and they didn't have to. It's what the environment is providing is basically really maximizing the whole idea of wellness and those important pillars of wellness. Wellness is not just, preventing falling on the ground. It means that you have all these pillars that are met. The intellectual dimension, the social dimensions, all of these.
And the physical.
The physical and they all come together. That's really what this whole person wellness aspect is about.
So talking about personal wellness as well, research is actually proving that some increased level of exercise has actually resulted in the slowing of dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
It's very strong evidence of that. You can fill this room here with the research papers on it tenfold. And UBC is doing some actually studies on it, looking at the fact that it has conclusively shown to improve the basically increasing neurons in the brain and connection between these neurons. This is the whole concept of neuroplasticity, and that translates to better memory, better recall, better learning. That's very, very well documented. So it's a powerful tool. If you could pack it in a pill, it'd be prescribed all over the place.
So if I were researching a retirement residence, an active lifestyle community for a senior, is there a quick checklist of things that I should be asking for?
Yeah, fine. Absolutely. There's some basics. They all relate to those pillars and what your values are. Talk about the food program. Dining, as we know, is very, very important. Are things made fresh on site? How much is made fresh on site? Find out about the wellness programs that are going on. Are there options for exercise? What do those look like? How frequent are they? Is the intellectual stimulation there? Are there some communities call them brain fitness programs that are going on? Are there opportunities for more learning? And then the social engagement, is there opportunities, lots and lots of opportunities to make those connections socially? And of course, very important, is it in a neighborhood that your loved one is going to feel comfortable in, or is willing to move to and try a new neighborhood? But those are important parts that mom and dad get to weigh in on.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the neighborhood as well. You're listening to Boomer Life on CL 650, and joining us in the studio from the BC Seniors Living Association is board member Alison Howard, along with nutrition and active lifestyle expert Rob Huppee. We're not done with our discussion yet on the decision-making process about moving yourself or your parents to an active retirement community. There's a lot more to come. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can always call the BC Seniors Living Association or check out the information on their website, bcsla.ca. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.